as far as which teams I think like me, I don't know. It's hard to tell. It feels like everyone has a good poker face.
Welcome into the NFL on Fox podcast. I'm Dave Helman. We have a special edition of the show for you. We're continuing our look at this 2024 draft class. If you'll remember, a few weeks ago, we talked to Tennessee quarterback Joe Milton during his journey to the NFL draft. We got another SEC guy for you today. In studio, by the way, Missouri defensive lineman Darius Robinson dropping by to join us. Darius, what is going on, man? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great, man. Blessed to be here. How are you doing?
I'm phenomenal. I mean, like, I joke about this all the time. I spend a lot of this time in this studio either by myself or on Zoom. So to like have somebody here to actually talk to, it's a nice change of pace, man. I appreciate you like coming in.
Yeah, most definitely, man.
So we were talking about this before we started the show. I assumed, a lot of guys train for the NFL draft out here in Southern California. I assumed you might be. You're not, though. You mentioned you've kind of been all over the place. Missouri just had their pro day a week or so ago. What have you been up to? What's your schedule look like right now? It sounds like it's kind of hectic.
Yeah, it's real crazy, but we're kind of on the back end. We're just 28 days away. So now just taking my 30 visits to the NFL organizations, and then getting back to Florida as soon as I can, and get back to training, working out, and then head back to Michigan before the draft, and then see what city I'm in next.
Okay, so I could have introduced you more. And for starters, if you're into the NFL draft and you don't know Darius Robinson, get it together. Like, first of all, because we're talking to a guy who had 8.5 sacks for Missouri last year, 14 tackles for loss, one of the bright points on a very good Missouri defense, won the Cotton Bowl, beat Ohio State, held Ohio State to a field goal, I believe.
Literally.
So one of the bright spots of this Missouri program over the last 4 or 5 years. I want to talk about kind of how your journey has gone here over the last few months. And I remember, if you follow the Senior Bowl, the college all-star game, you turned a lot of heads there. You had a fantastic performance down in Mobile, Alabama. But you had a quote that I thought was really funny, where you were like, if you turn the tape on, I've always been this guy. Like, you might just be hearing about me right now, but I've always been this guy. So from you going to, starting out at Missouri, having this phenomenal season, first team all SEC, and just like more and more people have learned about who you are. What's this process kind of been like as the spotlight on you has gotten a little bit bigger? Yeah,
it's been awesome. But I mean, show you how people really think about you, man. But I don't really get too much into that. I just think about my process and think about getting better each and every day. And that's why I'm so eager to get back to my normal routine. But it's been awesome, the attention. But at the end of the day, it's all about ball, and it's all about me. Like, the college stuff was great, but now I got to get ready for the league. So all the things that may have worked in college, I got to get that much better for the league so then I could be prepared and win reps there. So just trying to work as hard as I can, but just ready for the next opportunity.
You had a dominant season in the SEC. In your first year playing edge predominantly, by the way, which I'm going to get to that in a minute. But so I'm sure you've always had a high degree of confidence.
Yes, sir.
But I am curious when it sort of clicked for you, like, whoa, I could have a shot at first round. Like, I could be, Thursday night, I could hear my name called. When did that kind of come together for you?
Yeah, honestly, it hit for me. So my fourth year, I was thinking about leaving Mizzou, but I realized I probably would have been a late draft pick last year and different circumstances. But this year, like, I really made my mind up to this first or bust for me. Like, that's my mindset each and every day, working as hard as I can. And then my coach, Kevin Peoples, was the best coach I've ever had, best mentor, best coach. He taught me so much about my craft, taught me about my confidence, all that. So just working with him, knowing how hard I was willing to work for this moment, just put in the work each and every day, and that's what now I got to continue to do.
So let's go back to that. I'd love to hear about your coaches, just because, again, you were predominantly a D tackle at Mizzou. You get to 2023. And I read that it was injuries that prompted the move. Is that right?
Honestly, it was just me wanting to come back and find different ways to make myself more versatile for the league. And then like we had our best player, Isaiah McGuire, left last year to the Browns. Trajan Jeffcoat transferred to Arkansas. So we kind of had a need at that position. And I knew I could do both. And I'm like, this is gonna help me. And it paid off.
I mean, clearly. So you move out to the edge. And I mean, you moved around last year as well, but you predominantly played on the edge.
Yeah.
And the results speak for themselves.
Right.
What was it about edge? What clicked for you? What led to this kind of break? Yeah,
Kevin Peoples. I call him every day. Any clip I get of me working out, I always send to him. Everything, like, just from a confidence standpoint, let me know, like, D-Rod, like, every time you go out there, you're that guy. Be that guy for our team and be that guy for yourself. And then just from the drill standpoint, learning how to use my hands more, be more violent coming out my hips, the way I attack my rushes. If I'm on my 2x2 power track or 2x4 speed track, just playing fast and violent. But I'm honestly, my coach literally changed my career.
So I mentioned this to you. I spent my morning watching y'all's game against Florida.
Yeah.
The thing that stands out to me clearly, if you're listening to this, Darius, you're a big guy, 6'5", 285.
Yes,
on top of that, what stands out, very powerful, and you mentioned very violent hands, like when you get off the line. I'm speaking for you. What do you think you do best as a pass rusher?
As a pass rusher, violent, fast, get on my track. If I'm on my 2x2, I'm trying to sell power, then I'm working my hands fast. If I'm on 2x4, I'm trying to sell speed, give him open his chest and work my power. So just keep it simple and fast. Honestly, I really just have 3 rushes I go to, and after that, all it is counter, reaction, and that's why you work your hands and work your skill work off of that, because a lot of stuff you just react to, you know?
Do you hear any feedback from NFL coaches as far as, hey, this is where you are after one season playing edge?
Yeah.
I mean, they have to be excited about your upside, right?
Yeah, most definitely. That's the thing that's been most fun about this process. Is like it's 32 teams and everybody has a different opinion. Some teams want me to be a true end, which at the end of the day, I don't care what position I play, just going forward. But some teams want me to be a true end. Some teams want me to go back inside, be a D tackle. Some want me to continue to do both. So it's like for me, just work my craft and whoever drafts me and whatever they want me to do to the best of my ability. So it's just kind of interesting to see how it's going to play out.
And it seems like more and more too, you kind of have to be able to do it all anyway. Like regardless of what the team that drafts you has in mind, you're probably going to be asked to wear multiple hats at some point, right?
Yeah, especially like in this day and age with so much pass on third down, like I'm a guy that you want on your team because I can rush from a 0 to a 9. So we put our 4 best pass rushers out there and let us just go hunt, you know?
So I heard you talk to Good Morning Football a week or 2 ago, I think it was. You mentioned Chris Jones and Maxx Crosby as like guys that you see yourself as, guys that you model yourself after. I'm curious, and like you've been in the draft process, you've been training. A, have you had a chance to meet either of those guys and talk to them? Or B, just in general over these last few months, are there any NFL pass rushers that you've had a chance to get to know and just kind of pick their brains?
Yes, I talked to Maxx Crosby a few times. Right? I met him through my mentor, Rob Marinelli, who was Max's coach. And we was just on the phone, like just like hearing his voice, chopping it up, and just the way he attacks things and just watching him on tape, like he plays with such a relentless, like you really, like when you watch Maxx Crosby, you have to ask yourself how hard are you really playing, because that guy is straining every single snap, always turning his shoulders, always using his length, getting on, getting off blocks. Like he's unbelievable. And then watching, I never met Chris Jones yet, but I had a visit with the Chiefs, and I just asked him the whole time about Chris Jones, like how does he get so good at using his hands on the inside? Because, you know, the inside is more power rushes, more here, but Chris is like such a technician at using his hands. So just those are 2 of the best guys in the league to watch.
I did not know about your relationship with Rod Marinelli. Is that a Detroit thing?
Nah, that's honestly, we met through a family friend.
Okay.
And then I've been working with him like the past 2 summers. And now like it's awesome going through this draft process because he gives me so much great
I can't imagine
and so much everything.
A better guy to know as a down lineman edge rusher. That's like the Rod Marinelli specialty.
Literally.
Is he, I mean,
He's an awesome
I've
man.
worked with him before. Like, he's like a hard coach though. Like this,
No,
I mean, he gives you like tough feedback.
Yeah, most definitely. He's not afraid. He taught me. Like he coaches me like he's my coach, and he is my coach in a sense because I send him all my tape, good or bad. And then it's funny. One time I was working out at his house, and he was showing me these moves. And he's like, chop my arm like this. I'm like, man, like chill, man, like because he's an older guy,
Yeah.
but nah, he loves football. He's very detailed. And then sometimes he just tell me these stories about Warren Sapp because he's around some great D
Absolutely,
linemen.
yeah.
So just getting wisdom from him, but he's a great mentor to have.
Okay, you mentioned the Chiefs just now,
Yeah.
and there's so much intrigue around this. So pro day's over.
Right.
You mentioned the visit schedule's about to start, the 30 visits where
Yeah.
teams bring in the prospects that intrigue them that they want to get to know a little bit better. So what's your schedule look like right now? I mean, you don't have to tell me everywhere you're going if you don't want to, but do you have an idea of which teams really seem like they're interested in you and where you're going to be heading here over the next few weeks?
Yeah, so to the first question, I've already had a few visits and I still have like 13, 14 more. So basically from now to April 9th and then Zoom visits. But honestly, for me, I'm just attacking each visit and learning because you understand these are NFL D-line coaches, D coordinators, and head coaches. Always something I can take from them, regardless if they draft me, that I can keep with me for my career. And then as far as which teams I think like me, I don't know. It's hard to tell. It feels like everyone has a good poker face. And that's why for me, every time I'm on tape, the Senior Bowl, the Combine, Pro Day, I want to be better than I was the last time because that shows them growth. And this is a guy that if we draft him, he's going to be eager to learn, be a great teammate. So I'm just focused on just work as hard as I can and control what I can control.
Have you, since January, you went to the Senior Bowl, so you got coached there, you had meetings there, meetings at the Combine, meetings right now. You do media in the meantime, talk to people like me. Have you learned anything about yourself over this process of just, whether it's, putting your best foot forward in an interview setting or just being diligent day after day? Like, what's this process taught you?
Man, be thankful. Thank God, because this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, and to take advantage of this, leave no doubt as far as networking, communicating, learn as much as you can, because these are all people with so many different backgrounds, and like I'm gonna meet so many people, but I can learn something from everybody. So just enjoy it because I couldn't imagine myself being here, and now I'm here. It's like I can't drop the rope now. Like this is a blessing, a huge opportunity.
All right, I feel like you've been asked some version of everything in some form or function, but away from prepping for the draft, away from like how you rush the passer, what do you want? What would you like people to know about you as a person? I mean, that could be as, I don't know, innocuous as a hobby or just like what's something that's important to you for people to know as a person?
I would say my nonprofit foundation I started. So I started the Darius Robinson Helping Hands Foundation. So each year I'm going to do 3 charitable acts in the local community. So this past year, I only did 2. I did a back-to-school drive where I purchased 100 book bags for the kids at my church and the community. And then for Christmas time, I raised over $3,000 for 3 families in need. So, going forward, I haven't done anything this year because I've been focused with the draft. But as soon as I get settled in my new community, get started, and just give back my blessings to others.
Damn, man. As a student athlete,
yes, sir.
That's really impressive, man. It's cool.
Sir.
It's been awesome talking to you, man. So you're from the Detroit area originally.
Sir.
You gonna be there draft night? I don't think the invites have gone out for the green room yet.
Right, yeah, we're still waiting on the invite and just see what happens. But if not, if I didn't get an invite, I'll just have something at my house in Michigan. But hoping for the invite.
Well, it's been awesome talking to you. I'm looking forward to it. Big fan of your game.
Appreciate it.
Big fan of seeing where you wind up, man. We'll be rooting for you here, but we appreciate you stopping by, Darius.
All right, thank you for having me.
Thanks again to Darius Robinson for dropping by. If you enjoyed our chat, fear not, there's plenty more where that came from. We'll be talking with draft prospects from this year's class, all leading up to the draft. So keep an eye on the channel for that. Make sure you're subscribed. Spotify, Apple Podcasts will have these special episodes intermittently where we have conversations away from the regular show. Regular show still coming to your feed as usual, though. So again, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us a review if you don't mind. Maybe drop by our YouTube channel at NFL on Fox. All things draft, all things NFL leading up to April 25th and the first night of the draft. Thanks for stopping by. We'll talk to y'all soon.